I'll never forget the moment I first heard about Stuart's panic attack at Disneyland. Here he was, a brilliant entrepreneur with a thriving software company, and he couldn't even walk 10 steps into the happiest place on earth without his chest tightening and his world spinning. He had to sit down on a bench telling his family to go ahead without him, wondering if he was having a heart attack at 34 years old. The crazy part? Stuart wasn't failing. His company was actually growing. He had 16 employees, over 600,000 daily users, and was making good money. But like so many entrepreneurs, he had fallen into a trap that was slowly killing him, trying to do everything himself. Today we're going to explore the revolutionary principle that not only saved Stuart's life, but helped him triple his company's revenue while working less than half the hours. A principle that's transforming how the world's top entrepreneurs think about time, energy, and impact. Welcome to CEO's Library, where we distill game-changing business books into actionable insights. I'm your host, and today we're diving into Buyback Your Time by Dan Martell, a book that's challenging everything we thought we knew about entrepreneurial success. This isn't just another time management book, it's about completely rewriting the rules of the game. Because here's the truth that nobody talks about. Working harder isn't the answer. In fact, it's probably what's holding you back. Let's start by addressing the fatal flaw in how most entrepreneurs think. We've all been fed this narrative that success comes from grinding harder, staying later, and doing more. We wear our 80-hour work weeks like badges of honor. We pride ourselves on knowing every detail of our business. We think we're being good leaders by being involved in everything. But here's what Dan Martell discovered after building and selling multiple companies. This get-shit-done mentality is actually a trap. It's like trying to fill a bucket with water when there's a hole in the bottom. You can pour faster and faster, but you'll never get ahead. Think about it this way. There are only 24 hours in a day. No matter how efficiently you work, you can't create more time. But what if you could buy it? This is where Martell's revolutionary buyback principle comes in. The principle is simple but profound. Don't hire to grow your business. Hire to buy back your time. And let's break this down with a real example. When Stuart was struggling, he was making about $100 per hour for his company. Yet he was spending hours every day on tasks that could be done by someone making $25 per hour. In other words, he was literally costing his company $75 every hour he spent on these tasks. Multiply that by hundreds of hours per month, and you start to see why his company's growth was stalling. This brings us to one of the most powerful tools in the book, the drip matrix. Imagine a quadrant with two axes, energy and money. Every task you do falls somewhere on this matrix. In the bottom left, you have the delegation quadrant, tasks that drain your energy and make little money. This is where most entrepreneurs spend their time, doing things like answering emails, scheduling meetings, and handling administrative work. Then you have the replacement quadrant, tasks that make money but drain your energy. These might be things like sales calls or client meetings. The investment quadrant contains activities that give you energy but don't directly make money. Think exercise, reading, or spending time with family. Finally, there's the production quadrant, the sweet spot where you're doing what you love and making the most money. The key to freedom is systematically moving tasks out of your delegation and replacement quadrants, freeing you up to spend more time in production and investment. But how do you do this? This is where Martell introduces the replacement ladder. Think of the replacement ladder as your escape plan. It has 5 critical rungs: administration, delivery, marketing, sales, and leadership. The genius of this system is that it shows you exactly what to delegate first and in what order. You start with administration, getting an assistant to handle your email and calendar. Then you move up to delivery, marketing, and so on. Let me share a fascinating case study from the book. Remember Brian, the software company founder, who was drowning in hiring decisions? He was spending hours interviewing candidates, but his company couldn't grow because he couldn't hire fast enough. His solution? He recorded himself doing one great hire, created a playbook from it, and handed it off to someone else. Now he only does final interviews and his company is growing faster than ever. This brings us to one of the most powerful concepts in the book, your buyback rate. Here's how to calculate it. Take your annual income, divide it by 2,000, the number of work hours in a year, then divide by 4. That's your buyback rate, the maximum you should pay someone else to do tasks you don't want to do. If your buyback rate is $50 per hour, you shouldn't be doing any task that you could pay someone else $50 or less to do. But here's where most entrepreneurs get stuck. They say, I can't afford to hire help. Martell flips this on its head. You can't afford not to. Every hour you spend on 25 per hour tasks is an hour you're not spending on 500 per hour activities. It's like being a world-class surgeon, but spending half your day doing paperwork instead of performing surgery. This brings us back to Stuart's story. After implementing these principles, he started by recording himself doing various tasks, from client onboarding to technical reviews. He created simple playbooks and hired 2 people to take over these responsibilities. Within 2 months, he had freed up more than 30 hours per week. His panic attacks disappeared, his company's revenue tripled, and most importantly, he became present again both at work and at home. The beauty of the buyback principle is that it creates a virtuous cycle. As you buy back your time and focus on high-value activities, you make more money. This gives you the resources to buy back even more time, which you can reinvest in even higher-value activities. It's the opposite of the traditional entrepreneurial death spiral where growth leads to more work, more stress, and eventual burnout. But let me be clear, this isn't about working less just to work less. It's about maximizing your impact. When you're stuck in the weeds of your business, you can't see the forest for the trees. You can't spot new opportunities. You can't think strategically. You can't lead effectively. Think about it this way. Oprah Winfrey spends only 2 hours a day on traditional business matters. The rest of her time is spent on health, discovery, and personal growth. She knows that her highest value is being a compelling, insightful resource for her audience. By focusing her time and energy on what makes her most valuable, she's built a multi-billion-dollar empire. This brings us to a crucial point. Success isn't about doing more things right, it's about doing more right things. The most successful entrepreneurs aren't the ones working the hardest. They're the ones who have mastered the art of buying back their time and reinvesting it where it matters most. So what's the first step? Start by auditing your time. For the next week, track every 15-minute block of your day. Mark each activity with $1 to $4 signs, representing how much money it makes, and highlight it either red, draining, or green, energizing. This simple exercise will reveal where you're currently spending your time and where you need to make changes. Then calculate your buyback rate. This number becomes your North Star. Any task you can pay someone else to do for less than this rate should be delegated. Remember, 80% done by someone else is 100% awesome. You don't need everything done perfectly. You need it done well enough to free you up for what truly matters. Finally, start climbing the replacement ladder. Begin with administration. Get an assistant to handle your email and calendar. Then move up to delivery, marketing, and sales. With each rung you climb, you'll find yourself with more time, more energy, and more ability to grow your business. The truth is, your business needs you operating at your highest level. It needs you thinking strategically, spotting opportunities, and leading with vision. It doesn't need you answering emails at 11 p.m. or formatting PowerPoint presentations. As we wrap up today's episode, I want to leave you with this thought. Time isn't money. Time is life. And when you learn to buy back your time, you're not just buying freedom, you're buying the opportunity to build something truly remarkable. Stuart's story isn't unique. Every day, entrepreneurs are discovering that success doesn't have to come at the cost of their health, relationships, or joy. They're learning that by working less, but working right, they can achieve more than they ever thought possible. If you're ready to start your own journey to freedom, I highly recommend getting your copy of Buy Back Your Time by Dan Martell. You'll find the link in our show notes, along with additional resources and tools mentioned in today's episode. Before we close, I want to remind you that this isn't just about making more money or having more free time. It's about becoming the leader your business needs, the person your family deserves, and the entrepreneur you've always wanted to be. This is CEO's Library, where we turn pages into progress. Until next time, keep learning, keep growing, and most importantly, keep buying back your time.